Satatu, which, if you didn't know, that means, I believe, welcome in Irish or Gaelic. Welcome to the show. This is another episode of Ken's Corner, and I'm here with my friend, my good buddy, my fellow believer, Ken Smith.
Hola, Jay. How are you? Give you a salute. How you doing, buddy?
Good to see you. For those that did not know, Ken is here to do a Conor McGregor one-punch fist straight to the jaw of fake news and media bias.
Oh! I'll do a jumping. There you
go. There you go. There you go. Thank you so much, Ken. Let's begin with your shirt.
Yes. Who started this? Who started the shirt thing? The guy who commented on the I did because he commented on my Blackwater shirt, right? So I did. But anyway, it says your secret is safe with me. I wasn't even listening. So it's kind of a cool little. It's kind of a it's just a silly shirt I got for Christmas. But
it's the secrets weren't listening too.
They weren't. But that's my shirt. That's my shirt.
All right. Did you have any comments that you specifically wanted to call out this week?
Yes. Let me pull them up. Sorry. We're going through so much stuff this. All righty. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. It's how the algorithms work on YouTube. This one, first comment, Sherry Molina, really missed you guys. So much info. I just keep shaking my head at the insanity. You're going to shake it even more after today. Jesus keeping me sane and at peace in this crazy world. God bless you all. That was a great comment. Dan Ferguson, great to see you, brothers. Love your show. And by the way, my great-great-grandfather looked after Sitting Bull in Canada as he was on the run from the military. God bless you. Remember I talked about my Comanche shirt? Isn't that interesting? Yeah, that's really interesting. So anyway, thank you for that comment. Aileen Bryson, I haven't mentioned her in a while. Great show. Thank you both for giving us this information. Mostly thank you, Ken, for all the hard work you put into it. Love you both, Maranatha. Yes, Eileen, thank you. Thank you so much. And Christy Sherbarth, love your show. I came upon it a few weeks ago and have been watching it consistently ever since I found you. Love the humor and the topics. It is the show that keeps me well informed. Exactly. Thank you for taking the time and to keep all of us updated. Thank you. Appreciate that, Christy. I'm going to go through. I just want to go through real quick. You guys are killing it on comments, man. I had to pick 4. I'm sorry. Every comment was good. So many great comments. But here's it's a short list this week. Matt 24, thank you. Martin Wilmabor, thank you. Sherry Molina, Dan Ferguson, Eileen Bryson, Shannon Devoy, Christy Sherboth, Robert Lick, he always puts good stuff. Pat Mellon, Martin Coombs, Shulamite, PJ Fontaine, she always puts good stuff. Thank you, Jesus. David Landstrom, Susanna Lavelli, Patty Adams, Truth Watch, waiting on his return. Jenny B, she always puts good stuff. Angie Leiber, Karen Trout, Electric Life, Gingo to Bingo, always puts good stuff. Shirley Young, that's what I got. I think
and to all the people who comment on Rumble, I just wanted to say we also read yours, but but we will be more. I will make sure that I mention a few next time. It's just there's so many comments now. It's hard to know which ones to pick out.
Yeah. This is just a YouTube. Yeah, I haven't even gone through the Rumble. Are there different people on Rumble? There are, aren't there?
I believe there are different people on Rumble.
Wow. I need to start doing the Rumble thing too.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll definitely get you access. I just wanted to kind of go off of what Eileen says. Yes, mostly Ken is definitely a proper thank you. Ken is this show's version of a goyish Ben Shapiro. If we were the Weekly Wire rather than the Daily Wire, Ken would definitely be the editor in chief. He really does dig deep into the news. He does his research, and most of the stories are brought by him. So just want to thank him before we go any further for his very hard work, and he diligently does it for all of you. So thank you, Ken. You're
I love it.
You're an inspiration.
I put in the work. It's part of my ministry right now, and I'm just putting in the work. I put in about 10 hours a week, 5 hours on usually Friday, 5 hours on Saturday, and we tape on Sunday. Last week we taped late. We taped on Tuesday because you're in Houston, so that's why.
Back.
Yeah, you were flying back, so we got the show out kind of a little later. So thanks for hanging out, guys. I know we did the week before we skipped, and then last week we scared you. Probably we were like wondering probably where were we, but we're back on normal.
Yes, and something that is not normal. We're going to go into our first story right here. Thanks for the introductions, but let's go ahead and start with Governor Gavin Newsom decides that for the first time in California's history, he's going to cancel Christmas. Talk to me a little bit about this story, Ken.
Oh, that's an awesome picture, man. Gavin Newsom cancels California annual tree lighting ceremony amid planned protests demanding an end to Israel's war against Hamas, sparking backlash from pro-Palestinian groups who accuse him of ignoring their pain. So not only did he make the people mad that he canceled the annual tree lighting event in Sacramento, but he made the people protesting, the pro-Palestinian groups protesting, mad because he's ignoring them. But anyway, Gavin Newsom fearfully canceled the annual tree lighting event ahead of the multiple planned pro-Palestinian protests. Newsom canceled the public event set to take place Wednesday, this last Wednesday, December 6th evening, and announced a remote pre-recorded event in its place. Oh my gosh. Newsom was slammed online as he stated the last-minute cancellation was over safety concerns. The tree lighting is a celebratory annual Christmas event that dates back to the 30s. This is or was a 90-second annual version, 92 years. Newsom claimed the program is unchanged, just the fact that nobody will be in attendance, not even Santa, right? So the pro-Palestinian groups even complained when he canceled and said, he is ignoring our pain. Even Elon Musk gave his 2 cents commenting, wow, on his Twitter after Newsom's announcement on X Twitter. But it's crazy.
Well, sure to elect him president. He'll be doing all sorts
he's going to be our next president. Oh yeah, he's going to be our next president. You already know that. He met with Xi, and I'm predicting that on this show. What's today? Today is the
December 10th of December.
2023. I almost said 1923. 2023. I'm predicting Gavin Newsom president. He's going to run. He's going.
Please, Lord, have mercy on us.
Please, Lord. Please, Lord. Oh, man.
Another great story that has come up this week. We're going to take a look at Christopher Wray admit something that almost everybody already knew. But, it only took 3 years and a fake election to actually get to it.
Yeah.
Here's the truth. Let's go ahead and go to that.
Why didn't the FBI just say, hey, the laptop's real? Why didn't you just tell everybody the laptop's real? We're not vouching for what's on it, but it's real. This isn't a fiction.
Well, as you might imagine, the FBI cannot, especially in a time like that, be talking about an ongoing investigation. Second, I would tell you that at least my understanding is that both the FBI folks involved in the conversations and the Twitter folks involved in the conversations both say that the FBI did not direct Twitter to suppress.
But others were in government.
Well, I can't speak to others in government. That's part of the point that I was trying to make, because the Fifth Circuit's opinion.
You're the FBI. You're not part of the White House and part of Homeland Security. You're not supposed to be political. You see all this controversy going on. Why didn't the FBI say, time out, folks, we're not getting in the middle of this, but the laptop's real?
Again, we have to be very careful about what we can say, especially in the middle of an election season, because that's precisely some of the problems that led to my predecessors' negative findings from the Inspector General.
Did you hear a gavel?
Thank you, Senator
I heard
Kennedy.
a gavel.
So he admits,
that's insanity.
Christopher Wray admits it's real, and we just didn't want to, affect the outcome of the election. Well, so you did, Because if people knew the laptop was real rather than it was a Russian, disinformation story, the election might be a little bit different. And I believe there's been polls that have shown that exact fact, that I believe 6% of people would have voted differently.
Yeah.
If
it was,
they had confirmation that laptop was real, which, by the way, would have been a wipeout for Donald Trump.
Yeah, totally. And so he admits they withheld the truth about Hunter's laptop because it was an election year. All right. I mean, listen to what he said. We have to be very careful about what we say, especially in the middle of an election cycle. I mean, an election season. So basically, Wray just said the FBI deliberately allowed the laptop is fake hoax to perpetuate during the 2020 election. And you remember that was like the laptop's fake and say it's Russian disinformation and all that. One question, how is that not interfering with the election? How is that not interfering, right? So lying and omission is still lying. So Wray is straight up liar. So the FBI couldn't say the laptop was real because they had to be careful what they said. However, it's okay to lie and say it was Russian disinformation. That makes perfect sense. It's beyond.
That does make perfect sense in the clown world of the FBI.
Clown world. Wow.
Something else that is almost not really. Actually, this is good news. Gallup did a poll, and this poll also states something that I think everybody in the room knew, but now we have scientific data that kind of backs it up. So you can't say that conservatives are science deniers, because the Gallup poll says teenagers with conservative parents are more mentally healthy than children with liberal parents. Now, I wonder why that is. More stable. I got a couple of facts here, but teenagers are more likely to be mentally healthy if their parents are conservative. That's the headline. Conservatives and very conservative parents are more likely to raise mentally healthy teens compared to liberal parents, according to a new study from Institute for Family Studies and Gallup. The IFS, Institute for Family Studies Gallup report found that the most important factor in mental health of adolescent children is the quality of relationship with their caregivers. The key driver is parents who have an authoritative style that combines affection and attentiveness to the children's needs. And why shouldn't that be the case, right? So kids crave structure, discipline, guidance, and authority. They don't want to be adrift, is what they found. Conservative parents enjoy higher quality relationships with their children, characterized by fewer arguments, more warmth, and a stronger bond, according to the both parent and child reporting. Notably, potentially confounding factors such as income and parental education are largely unrelated. That was the shock to the outcomes of observed in the study. Rich or poor, schooled or unschooled, if you do parenting right conservatively, your kid has a better shot. Seriously. I think everybody knew that already, because I think conservative parents are more likely to say Jane is a girl and Bobby is a boy. But as liberal parents, he's fluid. They are fluid.
Yep.
I mean, just that factor alone will make us a kid more sane.
Yes. More rational. The whole nine. Yeah. More. Yeah.
Speaking of something that is insane, let's talk about the universities in America, the Ivy Leagues. They say that anti-Semitism is okay.
Yes. They were asked, so MIT, Penn, and Harvard presidents, they say the calls for Jewish genocide do not violate their code of conduct. And John Holler talked about this, and I have an update at the end that I'm going to say. But the presidents were testifying before the House Committee on Education and the Workforce about anti-Semitism on their campuses. All three presidents gave unacceptable answers across the board. They were all asked specifically, calling for genocide of the Jews if that violates their school's code of conduct. Straight up. I had a clip. I have so many clips today. I'm just going to talk about this. Each of the three presidents skated around the question and said, it depends on the context. That was crazy. Harvard President Claudine Gay was asked about students calling for intifada or from the river to the sea, they face any recourse. Gay called it hateful, reckless, and offensive, but said it was protected by freedom of expression. So I want to see if that happens for if that applies to the next person who demonstrates for pro-life activists. So because it doesn't. But the update: University of Pennsylvania president steps down amidst all the criticism that the anti-Semitism testimony. I mean, Liz McGill was her name, and she was the University of Pennsylvania president. She stepped down after this, and that happened today. So
I would hope all of them would step down.
Yeah. Well, you haven't seen the Harvard or the MIT president yet, but we'll see. It's crazy. They couldn't answer the question. They couldn't even say anything. So I know I sent you.
Let's face it. They're collaborators.
Yes.
If it was 1937 and they were in Germany and there was riots rounding up Jews, the University of Munich,
yes,
they would be like, it depends on the context.
Yes, it depends on the context. Or they would be burning the books, saying no to this, no to this.
Oh, no, we don't need to read this anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. I think people already want to burn certain books that don't that don't necessarily fit into their ideologies. Yep. I mean, the Bible has been burnt at the riots in 2020 many times, and I'm sure all sorts of other literature has been burnt because, I mean, they don't like Mark Twain because he talks about the the South pre-Civil War. Book burning idiots are most of these presidents.
I'm
not going to go beyond that.
They're coming back. I don't know. They're internet burning idiots now.
Speaking of the education of most Americans, let's talk about one of the oldest Palestinian demonstrators we have ever seen. We have a video.
Talking about being too old to be a lefty losing it, let's go to this learned pro-Palestinian protester.
Funny, you don't look Palestinian.
From the nation to the sea, Palestine will be free.
From the nation to the sea?
No, from the mountains to the sea.
From the mountains to the sea?
That's what we want.
From the mountains to the sea?
Yeah.
Which mountains? You don't know, eh?
I had to throw that in. That's my clip. I saw that on Twitter. I was like, I got to give that to Jay. I got to throw that in somewhere. It's short enough. So.
Oh man.
You almost feel sorry for it.
I feel very sorry. Someone has taken some organization. I'm not going to name names. Code Pink has taken advantage of this probably wonderful grandma. Has excellent sugar cookies and has twisted her mind to think that she's doing something good.
From the nation to the sea.
She's doing nothing but spreading disinformation.
Oh my gosh, I'm crying.
Fact check that one. Snopes.
I was crying when I saw that. I'm sorry. Sorry.
That's all right. But it's not just the old that possibly might have dementia. Unfortunately, 25% of young Americans between the ages of 18 and 25 or 29?
29. Yeah, 29. 18 and 29. Yeah.
Think the Holocaust is a myth.
Yeah. And John Haller reported on this too. He mentioned this because it's going to be the Jews when they get persecuted. It's going to be part of the mindset of people. And you can see it starting right now. But almost a quarter of young Americans think the Holocaust is a myth or exaggerated. A 50-state survey, which is which is crazy that 50 states were involved, found that a disturbing number of young Americans have bought into Holocaust denial and have spread on wildfire on social media. The greatest crime of the 20th century denied by Gen Z and millennial Americans. So they're hugely ignorant about the whole Holocaust. 1 in 10 young Americans believe that the Holocaust never happened, and almost 25% believe it is a myth or the number of Jews were killed has been exaggerated. Meanwhile, 12% of respondents say they've never heard or don't think they've heard of the word Holocaust before. Shocking findings of the first 50 states surveyed. Holocaust knowledge among Americans between the ages of 18 and 29. The findings reveal the young Americans not only lack the understanding of what happened in Germany during World War II, but have bought into the lies that have spread like wildfire on social media in recent years. And I've seen all kinds of crazy posts. 11% of the respondents believe Jews were responsible for the Holocaust. That was even another. I couldn't believe it.
80 years ago.
I could.
80 years ago, the Holocaust happened, and they already think it's a myth. But there's a precedence. If you tell them about the Babylonian captivity, if you talk to them about the Jewish diaspora, about them being kicked out of their homelands, oh, that's a myth. And that, I mean, granted, that's thousands of years. But think how quickly that is. 80 years.
It's 80 years now. So almost 2/3 of them, 63%, were unaware that 6 million Jews were killed in the Holocaust. 48% couldn't name any of the 40,000 concentration camps or ghettos. Almost 50% couldn't name like Dachau or any, and just 6% were familiar with the infamous Dachau. So the results are shocking and saddening too. So,
it is saddening, but this is also get ready for this. Put your boots on if you live in Britain, because young people there want to ban the Bible.
Yep. And young Brits open to banning the Bible unless offensive parts can be edited out. All right, that's what they said. Close to a quarter of young British people sadly said recently they would be open to banning the Bible if they believed its pages contained hate speech. The poll comes from Whitestone Insights. They surveyed 2,088 young adults in the United Kingdom, and almost 25% of respondents between the ages of 18 and 34 said to ban the Bible if it contained perceived hate speech. So we can see the way the UK has gone. You can ask Jacob about the UK. And, it's just like the woman that was arrested, right, for praying silently in front of And so we can see where this is going. We can see where this is going. So, yeah.
I wonder if you ask them what are the offensive parts of the Bible that you would have them pick out, I almost guarantee that it will be anything that has to do with sin.
Yeah. Yes, that's it. Or all of it. Yep.
On the latter side, humans have deemed it time to get serious about robotics, and so they've built a fleet of Ed 209s. For those that don't,
yes, the first humanoid robot factory is about to open, and it's a factory planning to pump out 10,000 two-legged robots a year. And it's going to be opening in Salem, Oregon. They say it's better help to Amazon and giant companies like that for dangerous hauling, lifting, or moving. So Agility Robotics is the name of the company. Says its RoboFab manufacturing facility will be the first to mass produce humanoid robots. And they've been testing a robot named Digit. And these other robots that they show, that Digit isn't the first robot, but it's going to be mass produced. Agility is the company. Agility has produced about 100 robots since being founded in 2016, but RoboFab is going to have a significantly larger capacity of 10,000 peak per year. So fun fact, Digit is 5'9", and she weighs about 140 pounds and can walk over and plug itself in when it needs to be recharged. So that's what's crazy. Yeah.
Interesting. So we've begun to manufacture 10,000 a year,
Yeah.
will be built, and in the next 10 years, 100,000 robots. Interesting. That's a lot of robots. Wonder what the service life on these robots are.
I don't know. That's the whole thing. They're gonna go and then be.
I can't wait till the AI takes them over.
Yeah, definitely. Are you gonna go back to the border?
Yeah. Well, I believe the border is. How did I miss the border? Yes,
You missed the border.
Let's go to the border.
Yes,
Let's
important. Yes.
This is very important. Let's start with some videos about the border.
Literally in the middle of nowhere, 2.5 hours to the closest major city. Thousands are crossing here illegally every day, and the situation is completely unsustainable. We'll step out, give you a look at the scene here. This is a mass, hundreds upon hundreds of people who have crossed the border illegally and are camped out here at the border wall, waiting to be apprehended by Border Patrol. You'll quickly notice these are all single adult men. There is not a single woman or child in this group you're looking at, and these guys are coming in from all over the world. Large amounts of African men from Senegal, from Guinea, from Mauritania, from Egypt, others from the Middle East, others from Asia. This is Border Patrol's Tucson, Arizona sector, which just had 17,500 illegal crossings last week alone. That is the highest weekly total ever recorded. We talked to one for this sector. We talked to one man from Mauritania. He paid smugglers $10,000 to get here, first flying into Colombia. We talked to another man from Guinea who says once he's processed, he plans to head to New York City. Now, you might be wondering, well, there are breaches all in the wall, and we want to show you this remarkable video we shot yesterday. Take a look at this. Border Patrol and federal contractors were trying to fix a hole in the wall that smugglers cut when a huge surge of illegal immigrants came pushing through that gap, trying to get into the United States and successfully doing it before Border Patrol could fix it. They were trying to weld it, and all these people started pushing through the hole in the wall. And you'll notice there's a human smuggler dressed in black right on the other side of the wall. He sees our camera. He kind of just gives us a shrug and then salutes us, essentially saying, finding these cuts in the wall all over the place. They try to fix them. There's nothing they can do about it. They say it's like a game of whack-a-mole. Take a listen to what the Border Patrol Union had to say out here.
This is what has been caused by an open invitation by the administration that said, hey, come all, ask for asylum and you'll get released. It takes a toll on operations. It takes a toll on the men and women that are out there putting their lives on the line each and every day.
Elsewhere along the border, take a look at this video out of Border Patrol's San Diego sector. News Nation capturing this footage of a large amount of Chinese male nationals that crossed illegally near the Jacumba Hot Springs area. So this is happening all along our southern border, guys. The entire world is showing up here at our doorstep. They're crossing illegally, and they are expecting to get released here into the United States. It's happening here in Lukeville. It's happening in Eagle Pass. It's happening in San Diego. Dana, you mentioned off the top, the port of entry here in Lukeville is completely closed down. That is because CBP is surging officers here to try to help Border Patrol deal with apprehending all these folks. On top of that, all of the Border Patrol checkpoints in the Tucson sector and the local highways have also been closed down. Those checkpoints are invaluable for trying to be a second line of defense in stopping both human smugglers and fentanyl smugglers.
And why are they coming, Ken? Because our laws are broken.
Lawless.
Our system is broken.
It's broken. Yes. There's so much lawlessness, and that Jesus predicted that, guys. So just know that we're gonna have a lot of lawlessness, and we're gonna have even more so. This is not the worst. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse, and we have to just focus on the Lord. So
we have another video. It's a tweet.
Where are you guys from?
Africa, where? What country?
Togo. Guinea. Go yeah.
it's actually Bill Milligan. He's got he's a good guy to follow on Twitter. He went down to the border, and he had that video, and then this next video is his 2 videos.
So they were respectively from Togo and I believe Ghana is what the other one said.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Who's paying for that?
Well, you'll see the video that I sent. I sent that video too.
Oh, okay. So we have a video of who's going to pay for it. Okay.
Yep.
I'm ready.
Wait, this is the video of the they're on the road.
Oh, so they're in Arizona.
Yep, they're walking. They're walking up. Yeah.
So they're coming to your house.
They're coming to my house. Coming up north. I don't think they'll come up north. It's too cold up here.
From Arizona, they can go, basically California.
Yeah. Well, the next video that I show you, that they got flights out. They'll be flying out of Phoenix to everywhere.
How do you fly without a passport?
Exactly. So I have a stat that I'm gonna share with you, and you'll be fascinated by it. Look at how many people. Wow.
That's a lot. That's a lot of people, and you would imagine it would be very difficult to keep your identification with that many people around you.
Yeah. No, it's yeah.
Here we go.
And here's a disturbing
we
part.
see all these people coming across, mostly military-age men coming from China, from Africa, from all over the world. Most of them not even being vetted when they come in here. But here's what's really going to bother you. When these folks come across and they're processed, they're being given a cell phone, a plane ticket to wherever they want to go in this country, so probably to a community near you, and a $5,000 Visa card. So while this Christmas season, you're struggling to keep your lights on, while you're struggling to pay your rent, put Christmas presents under the tree for your kids, we have our government giving people that came into this country illegally $5,000 gift cards. That's the truth, folks. God bless.
That's criminal.
That's criminal.
That's criminal.
Insanity. It's insanity.
That's robbing the American people and giving it to other people for what? Coming illegally and breaking the law. It's rewarding crime.
Yeah, I think the last I have a listing of. Let me go to my last page. There's a report that we have spent over $450 billion on housing and care for illegals this past year. So I think that's large, but I don't see how that can't be with them 18,000 a day. I mean, it's crazy. It's nuts. But a border breach and massive incursion, at Lukeville, single military-aged men from North Africa cheering as they run off. But that was this past Thursday, right? The 12/7. So that was on 7. A lot more coming. They said. They tell us there are hundreds behind them. And this is, like I said, this is from Bill Melugin, Melugin, and he's a good guy to follow on Twitter. But so I had friends that went to Africa, all right, and they went on a safari, $25,000 a piece safari for a week in Africa. Oh, well, $25,000 for both of them, and the hoops they had to jump through were unreal. So of course, a valid passport, identification, proof of health, and vax status were also mandatory. Weird how that works, huh? And this is just a judgment on this country. It's just a judgment, and we can see who's in charge as a judgment. We can see what's happening as a judgment. So it's beyond.
We can see what they use the American people's tax dollars for. That is a judgment. A judgment.
It's a judgment. It's what it is. You can't look at it. You have to go to that 31,000 foot level, that spiritual level. You have to look at it at that. It's supernatural. These people, their minds are debased. The people in charge, and they're just taking money themselves.
Incredibly debased. A plane ticket to anywhere in the United States,
anywhere,
and
plus
$5,000
plus a phone, and it's crazy. It's beyond fathomable.
And at the end of the day, who gets to pay that bill, that Visa card bill? Well, have you taken a look at your interest rates lately on Visa?
Yeah.
Taking a look at your over limit charges on Visa.
Yeah.
Also your credit score.
Yeah. How much? Yeah. What's the 26%, 25%? Yeah.
Yeah. That's because Visa cannot fail because Visa works for the government.
Exactly. And just like Google.
Yeah, just like Google. Our next story is a little bit lighter. We're very happy to get to this part. So we're going to talk about what's going on in Israel, which is they are on the cutting edge of fashion. So we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the fashion trends of Israel, which is spectacular, if you ask me, okay? You can look fabulous and be ready in a minute's notice for a firefight with today's new fashion, the AR-15. Now, this playful ensemble, let me get this. This playful ensemble gets you ready for a workout while also getting you ready to fight against Hamas. The AR-15 with the nice bandolier. Leotard. Finally, we also have another beautiful piece. Here we go. Whether you're going to the beach or going for just a walk by the seaside, look fabulous and be tactically prepared with this beautiful ensemble of short shorts and the AR-15. Finally, we have this one. Whether walking your dog or fighting for the existence of your country, be fashionable, be armed with the AR-15.
Oh, man.
There we go.
They're armed to the teeth, man. With their rifles, and it's for date nights and days out, as they're taking no chances, man. But since October 7th, the attack, 150,000 gun applications. 150,000 since the year before. There was a maximum of 42 applications per month. All right, so what's that times 12? And this is just since. What's October 7th? So we're at the 10th of December. So, like 5 weeks, right? Or wait, October. So 5, it's 6, 7, 8 weeks.
6 weeks.
Where are we at? 6 weeks. Yeah. But Israelis have been arming themselves with all kinds of firepower as they feel an overwhelming need to protect themselves. And, it's beyond. So here's what Netanyahu said. He said, "We are in the midst of a campaign for our existence. We are encouraging civilians and are helping civilians to arm themselves with personal weapons for defense." And real quick, on November 30th, Hamas conducted another attack, and that was in between, after the other attack in Jerusalem. And the guy the attack killed 3, but he was stopped by an Israeli civilian with a gun. So that's totally. And
interesting.
We're gonna. Yep.
Now, I want to kind of compare this. When Hamas decides to cross the border and brutalize Israelis, the Israelis respond by getting guns and preparing themselves to fight the invaders. When America has people crossing their border for who knows what, the response is give them a cell phone and give them $5,000.
Yeah.
And a plane ticket. Which one do you think is going to have a future?
I don't know.
And as if right on cue.
Yes.
Let's talk about the recruiting crisis that is going on in Canada, first of all.
Man.
I have a picture.
And this is the picture. I got to talk over this picture, man, because this is
Nice.
Oh man! So the Canadian military bases mandate menstruation kits in men's bathrooms. So in a move to align with the Liberal government commitment to inclusivity, Canadian military bases are required to provide menstrual products, including tampons and pads, in men's washrooms by December 15th this year. It extends to all federally regulated workplaces as well. So like the U.S., the Canadian Armed Forces, CAF, is facing a recruitment crisis as it struggles to find willing Canadians to fill the military's thinning ranks. Just to make sure I understand, so I said, the government of Canada believes that an effective, highly trained, and prepared fighting force begins with the denial of biological reality, right? So we're running out of ammo, but we have plenty of maxi pads. So, and everybody's asking, why is everybody quitting the CAF? You know, it's beyond.
Could it be because who would want to fight for an army that tells you that there's no difference between men and women?
Yeah, no reality. You got none of this in with Russian, or none of this with any of the Eastern countries. None of this. None of it. It's all Western countries. It's all the Western Bloc countries.
Yeah.
It's the Five Eyes.
Yep. The Five Eyes are definitely the countries that are pushing this agenda. Talking about the U.S. recruitment now.
Yeah.
The numbers are dismal. But let's talk about a little bit about why they're dismal. And you and I talked about it in the pre-show.
Yeah.
You know, the U.S. is recruiting not to fight enemies here at home, domestic enemies, which we do have them, or even in this hemisphere. Let's talk about this hemisphere.
Yeah. Stay in the hemisphere.
We have war
on
our borders toward the south.
We do.
They're more likely to be sent to places like Ukraine to die, places like Israel to die, around the world, but never for home defense.
Nope.
And what is that doing to the numbers?
They're down. Talk about recruiting. We have a crazy recruiting crisis here. I guess it's hardly a mystery, though. I've talked about it. But the question is, why join the military to defend everyone else except Americans, right? So the proxy war in Europe, the conflict in the Middle East, the threatening catastrophic war in Asia, and then now the newest conflict in South America. And this is part of wars and rumors of wars, that it's just, we'll see where it goes, But as the military budget continues to jump skyward, the bipartisan Congressional War Party risks running out of the most important resource, manpower. The public confidence in our armed forces appears to be waning. Newsweek article states, and the Daily Mail poll stated on whether Americans would volunteer to fight and die if America was invaded. Only 51% of 18 to 29-year-olds said they would do so. All right. How crazy is that different from the greatest generation? So someone said on Twitter, it is one thing to risk your life and health for America, but to die in a foolish war and to have your sacrifice shamefully wasted, I think patriots should preserve their lives for something better. So it's just the mindset's changed totally.
49% of young people would sit out if this country was invaded.
Yeah.
Well, it really
it said invaded.
Yeah.
Not if this country was attacked or like
invaded.
Invaded.
Yes.
That's what's crazy.
Well, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. The country is being invaded in a way.
Yes.
And the youth will do nothing about it. They won't even speak out against it.
No.
They want to welcome
the
new recruits of the new army that's to come. The army that has people from Senegal, from South America, from China, from who knows where. No vetting.
I talked about that last week. Remember the Rome? They don't know history. They don't know history. I talked about it last week. Yeah.
Almost. We mentioned it just now. There's a new front on War Inc. War Inc. has decided to start with another dictator I'm just going to go ahead and call him to the mat right now. Hitler in the South decided to invade Guyana. Now, just to kind of paint the picture for everyone, Guyana is largely indigenous tribal people.
Yeah.
And that, like you said, Ken, which was amazing to me, you found out they have no military whatsoever.
Yeah, none. Yep.
And yet I don't hear a single person screaming from the river to the sea, let Guyana be free. I don't hear anyone chanting that while Guyanese die.
Nope. And Venezuela is eyeing 60% of Guyana over oil discoveries. So Guyana's about to lose 60% of its territory, and there's nothing we can do about it, writes nationally renowned attorney and legal analyst Mark Randazza. He had a great article I was reading. So in a series of posts on X, he predicts the United States will soon sit back and watch Venezuela invade and conquering neighboring Guyana. Venezuela has strong ties to China, Russia, and Iran, and the U.S. is rolling back sanctions imposed by Trump. So the Venezuelan government argues that it owns 60% of Guyana, a country that has no military to speak of. In fact, Google Maps has already started redrawing the borders, right? So we talked about that on the pre-show, and Bing Maps still hasn't gotten the memo yet. So I find that fascinating. So Randazza calls Google a fully owned subsidiary of U.S. intelligence service. The U.S. is bogged down in Ukraine and Israel and simply cannot afford another conflict. Randazza also said our military is anemic right now and in no way prepared to get involved in a jungle war in South America. That's a truthful statement right there. Yeah, we can't have recruiting like we have and just send.
By the way, we are the reason our gas prices are artificially lower than they usually are is because Biden opened up oil trade with Venezuela.
Yes. Yeah.
So we have an economic interest for them to find more oil and take over Guyana.
Yeah.
So as you watch Venezuela take over a sovereign country, sovereign nation.
Yes. Yeah.
Remember, yes, it is the Venezuelan government. It is technically the leader of that country, but also it could not be done without the nod that the U.S. won't do anything about it.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Yep.
So this is a genocide.
Yeah.
A genocide of at least a country. We don't know if there's any actual casualties as the Venezuelan military go across the border.
Yeah.
But I imagine there has to be.
Oh, yeah. There'll be a news blackout. You know, they don't want you to know.
So a genocide of Native Americans, and no one says anything.
Nothing.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the important people, the people that really matter, they as countries are fighting wars and blood is being spilled, they're serving up gourmet burgers to their constituents as the UN decides to convene a climate elite summit. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So this UN climate summit serves gourmet burgers to elites demanding public being banned from eating meat, right? So you've heard them, the powerful globalist elite jetting off to the United Nations. And this is the COP28 climate summit in Dubai. And so they were served gourmet smoked Wagyu burgers and luxury barbecue while demanding the general public is banned from eating meat to fight global warming. And the 2-week conference was it's just, according to the summit's online portal, I read this to you and you were just shaking your head. So according to the online summit's portal, we will be offering juicy beef, slabs of succulent meat, smoked Wagyu burgers, Philly cheesesteaks, melt in your mouth barbecue, in addition to African street barbecue, first casual Mexican fare, and an Asian option that has a touch of French flair. The UN prepared the first of its kind report that demands that governments around the world lower public meat consumption, and they're serving this. So Joe Biden's climate czar John Kerry attended the conference, and Kerry insists that ending meat consumption is necessary for meeting the WEF, the World Economic Forum's net zero goals. These unelected globalists insist that eating meat has a high impact on our planet. The UN has repeatedly called for people to transition to plant and insect-based diets. I can't imagine this hypocrisy. The hypocrisy knows no bounds.
No, it doesn't. As they're chomping on some burgers.
Yep. Wagyu burgers.
Yeah. By the way,
yeah.
You want to talk about environmentally unsound? Talk about a cow that's massaged and fed a mixture of beer and grains all day.
Yeah. To make him that tender. Yep. You just shake your head.
It's unbelievable. Like you said, the hypocrisy. It's so thick. It's like they're so oblivious to the reality in which most people live. That it's like, why do we continue letting people like John Kerry, who's never worked a day in his life, stay in government?
Even his service is questioned. He's No,
I mean, no, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not going to even talk about that one. We were like Mongols.
Yes, we were. Hey, you want to go into the top 10, or do you want to skip the next two because we got time wise?
We're way over time wise. Let's go to the top 10.
Yeah, let's go top 10. These are top 10 headlines that the media didn't tell you this week. Number 10, Hunter Biden has been indicted in California on 9 charges. Number 9, federal government dismisses case to remove Trump from Arizona 2024 presidential ballot. That's cool. Number 8, Facebook and Instagram enable child sex abuse and trafficking. Companies boycotting X have ads on both. So number 7, Speaker Mike Johnson tells the Biden administration no new funding for Ukraine without an audit. Number 6, French farmers spray manure on government buildings in protest of taxes and regulations meant to put them out of business. I had video of that too, but I just wanted to mention that. Number 5, Senator Rand Paul says he will debate the merit of sending our troops overseas. That's awesome. Number 4, University of Pennsylvania president told to resign by the board of Penn for refusing to condemn genocide of the Jews, and she did resign. Number 3, according to an Arizona sheriff, illegal immigrants are being handed $5,000 Visa gift cards, cell phones, and plane tickets. I already reported that. Number 2, Elon Musk to bring Alex Jones back to X after Tucker Carlson interview exposed what the establishment media and CIA have done to him. It was a great interview. I hope you guys watched that on X, Twitter. And number 1, Biden administration's defense secretary threatens to send U.S. families to fight in Ukraine if we do not send more aid. So that's my top 10, and I'm sticking to it.
Can we start with Lloyd Austin?
Yeah, you want to do that? Show that.
Let's give him a bayonet and say, "Hey, charge the Russian line, please."
Yeah, charge. Yeah. Anyway, it was even Elon put in the comments. It was whoever posted it, and it said Lloyd Austin is basically threatening if we don't give any more money to Ukraine, blah blah blah. I'm gonna send your family over to fight. Your mom, your dad, your kids, your grandmothers, your grandfathers. Just joking. But then Elon commented and said, "Did he really say this?" And Tucker, it was Tucker Carlson that said it. And then Tucker posted, "Yes, he did." So he did really say that.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Yep. Send your family over.
Okay. Our next one, you already went over Alex Jones returns to Twitter.
Yep.
Do you want to go over the Home Alone real quick?
Yeah, let's do that.
The economy right now. Here we go.
Yeah, here's where the economy is for anybody who is doubting that we are in demise and we have inflation going on.
So Alex Clark tweets, people watching Home Alone this Christmas season have been having the veil lifted from their eyes on how bad President Biden's economy really is. In the scene where Kevin goes to the grocery store, he buys milk, bread, toilet paper, laundry detergent, fabric softener, cling wrap, macaroni, and cheese, a turkey, TV dinner, orange juice, and a bag of plastic Army Men. The total in 1990, $19.83.
Wow.
Last year, those items cost $44.40. Today, only 1 year later, those same items cost $72.28 after tax. That's a 248% rise in the price.
Wow. That's in 1 year. That's how it exponentially goes, man. Wow.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
But then again, I've been going to the grocery market more myself, and I'm looking at how much it cost me for just a few apples and oranges.
Yeah.
I'm stunned.
Yeah. I think everybody's in shock. I know that my eggs have gone up
Eggs are crazy.
Like tripled, and everything's just beyond. My coffee's gone up. Coffee's gone up crazy. Yeah, coffee's gone up quite a bit too.
Let's talk about it's Christmas time. It's time for families to come together. I have visions, especially if I were in Germany today, of hearing Stille Nacht being sung, Silent Night in German, and hearing the bells ring, the trees being lit, warm food. But, today, in the progressive world of the left, we're hearing other things. Here we have a video of German pride.
Sehr weihnachtlich.
Oh, man. I need bells to be a Islamic call to prayer.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt. I listened to it once and it hurt. And the German women wanted this. The German men did nothing to stop it. This is Germany. This is what's going on in Germany. That's a Christmas market in Germany open with the wail of an Islamic cleric. That's just sad. It's just sad. If they want to go celebrate, do whatever you want. Just don't do it at a Christmas, event. How hard is that? It's beyond understandable.
Obviously, it's not beyond understandable.
No.
Again, this is a multiculturalism. That's the problem with it.
Yeah.
They are appropriating Christmas to Islam because Islam is part of the population now.
Yeah.
There's no going back.
Yeah. I wonder if they had anything in the UK or anything like that. Yeah, that's.
I'm sure the UK with the way they go, absolutely. Yeah. Our final story is we want to congratulate Ireland because Ireland has recently come and they see the threat that Twitter faces, the threat that it has been in the past, and they've hired a man who's on the job to make sure your tweets are politically correct and not going to make anybody feel sad. So I have a picture of Jeffrey Godfrey, the man who will make Twitter safe in Ireland. Are you ready for this one?
He's not joking, folks. He's not joking.
There he is.
He's not joking, folks.
The man who will save Ireland from
him.
Tweets. That's him.
That's the guy. Yep. Oh man. That's awesome.
All right. That's enough of that joker.
Yeah.
But Ken, it's the Christmas season. It's the Advent season. We think about how Christ came to the world. He didn't come as one of these global executive evil people that go to the UN climate summit, he came as a lowly person that can identify with the struggle of the common man. He didn't come to call the people who were supposedly self-righteous, but he came for the people who were sick, that were weighed down with sin. And those people are still weighed down today. So I just want to remind you, during this period of time, you know, we all have people that we miss that don't. Christmas is not quite the same when we were young because people die, we lose people drift apart. But one thing that we always have is the incredible gift of Jesus Christ. That even in this season where the news is terrible, terrible, we have glad tidings because we have true peace on earth. The peace that Jesus Christ is reigning and supreme. And with that, Ken, I'll give you last word.
So Christ is king and he's coming back. So stay in fellowship, folks, and just know that Christ is king and he's coming back. And he's coming back to rule and reign on this planet. So he's going to, I mean, it's going to be a new planet after the 1,000-year millennium, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. New heaven and new earth. It's going to be fantastic. So I just laugh with us, you know. Yes. Laugh with us.
Amen, my brother. And hopefully before then we can do a real fist bump. But if not, yes, I look forward to the day that we can rejoice at the wedding feast of the Lamb.
Amen.
All right, God bless you. Thank you for watching this episode of Ken's Corner. We have one more episode of this year, and then I believe Ken and I are both taking off for the last week of Christmas, December, which will be Christmas. So we'll see you one more time this year, and then we'll see you in the new year. Till then, awesome. We're signing off.